the misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old. The pines were.
Next, that's kind of like some stuff right there. Okay, how about we'll leave plot right for the end. How about we go to conflict, because there seems to be the predominant one. I would say because Bilbo is a new environment. I would say a new environment, and I would say Bilbo versus the environment for the new one, because it encounters the rigors of being outside his home, outside of the known zone.
Starting with the extraordinary, a little bit.
So I would say
it's not really a struggle against the external; it's more a struggle against
Bilbo and
his own internal resistance.
So I would say Bilbo versus
himself.
Environment. No, well, that's not the predominant one, but I would say we see a bit of that. But certainly Bilbo versus himself, which is represented in his coming out and voyaging into, voyaging and becoming brave, becoming a hero.
The classic heroic journey.
Exactly. And there's even a trip to the underworld. No, already in Steve,
there is.
See a trip to
really?
the underworld.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah. You could almost consider it an epic, though.
It is an epic.
It's not poetic.
It's epic prose.
It's epic novel.
Epic prose, we'll say. Bilbo versus environment. Bilbo versus his health. So Bilbo, the rigors of being outside this Shire. And that's kind of the two predominant conflicts, I would say. Bilbo versus health. It's not Bilbo. It's not really pitted against one other, entity of a character. He comes across many other ones. Yeah, there's no
major.
There's no overall. No, certainly not in this. I think
there's
in
no
Lord of the
major
Rings,
overriding antagonist.
Yeah, we have in Lord of the Rings.
It doesn't have a Sauron.
Exactly. There's no Sauron in this. Well, we might have when we encounter Smaug the dragon, from which he wants to take gold. I'm sure the conflict will add a new one. But right now we don't really see it. He's more of a minor threat. Exactly, a minor threat that's not fully even an antagonist in our mind. All right, now for the plot. So I think one of our most important points of the story. So for the beginning, we are presented with the charming Shire, very beautiful,
right?
Charming and beautiful Shire.
And then
as introduction, and like any good epic, I would even say, we have a little bit of a description of his genealogy, which is kind of interesting.
Right. And that shows the background of his extraordinary.
And it already foreshadows his kind of will to go outside to do something that's a little bit out of the ordinary to them. So we kind of know what's going to happen.
Then come the dwarves and Gandalf. Well, first Gandalf, then come the dwarves and Gandalf.
Genealogy foreshadows
Adventure.
His expedition.
His adventure. Next comes Gandalf, who is already told about in lore of the Shire being kind of a mysterious, magician figure. His fireworks, stuff like this.
Oddly enough, a good friend of Bilbo's as well, so they must have met before.
Yes.
At least know there's a relationship already in place.
Yes. Next was Gandalf, who asks Bilbo, who is currently, he says no, but he's undecided. He has that urge in himself. Undecided. Then come the dwarves at the door. And the grand feast, which is kind of amusing, with a couple songs in it. And then, right from the get-go, they set out. They set out
without him.
Yeah, well, they set out without him first, because he enjoyed his sleep in.
Nevertheless,
they get out, and I think the first thing they encounter were the trolls.
Yeah, the 3 trolls.
Troll encounter. And I think the notable thing.
Gandalf
saves. Gandalf saves. Then they come to Rivendell.
No, they go to the troll's nest and take all the shit.
Yeah. They alluded, but I think the next predominant story would be Rivendell.
But the swords actually have
meaning, especially when they encounter the goblins. So, swords looted.
Loot.
But Rivendell, so a bit of repose, we'll say. And rest,
elves.
repose, rest, and joy with elves. And then we have the conflict we find now, the Goblin Cave. Goblin Cave, where all their supplies and ponies taken.
Pillaging.
Ponies taken. And yeah, they only managed to survive because of
Gandalf.
Gandalf
again.
Gandalf saves. Gandalf saves. And then we find Bilbo alone.
And
Alone in the darkness. The darkness with Smeagol. Gollum. And defeats him by his own wit and sheer luck. And I think that concludes it for today. We'll get back to this, we'll continue this a little bit later. But thank you all much for joining. We'll meet next book club meeting, and the same reading, point 5 of the chapter every night. Thank you all. Thank you very much, people. And I'm Alex Banks. Goodbye.
Okay.
Stop. Let's go.